Steelers Nation, the energy around Pittsburgh right now is something else, and there's no denying it. The past couple of weeks have been a roller coaster of hope and doubt. Moments that make you question everything and moments that make you believe in what this team can achieve. There's a variable in all of this that's simple yet easy to underestimate, something that changes the whole perspective when you sit back and truly watch the field. When we talk about leadership, experience, and the way a quarterback commands a game, Aaron Rodgers is rewriting the script for anyone paying attention. At 42 years old, he has defied history, defied expectations, and continues to remind everyone that the numbers, as impressive as they are only part of the story. Completing passes at a rate that would make most of his peers gasp is impressive, sure, but what really matters is the consistency, the decision-making, and the aura he brings to the huddle, the field, and every locker room conversation. It's not about breaking records for the sake of it. It's about translating decades of experience into tangible results when it counts the most, when every possession, every snap, and every second on the clock carries weight. There's a feel to Rodgers' game right now that is unmistakable. You can sense it from the sidelines, in the reactions of teammates, in the precision of throws that seem to defy physics, and in the quiet confidence he exudes. This is a quarterback who has seen it all, who has been in countless high-pressure moments. And yet when you watch him now, there's a hunger that feels renewed, almost electric. The Green Bay days, the championships, the accolades, they all inform what we're witnessing in Pittsburgh today, but they don't define it. What defines it is the control he exerts over the offense, the way he elevates everyone around him, and the subtle yet profound ways he influences the game without ever taking a step onto the spotlight outside the field. He leads not only through words, but through presence, through instinct, and through the quiet authority that demands attention without demanding recognition. Watching Rodgers against Miami was a clinic in poise and judgment. The numbers alone tell part of the story, but what they don't capture is the instinctive feel, the awareness of every defender, the preemptive adjustments, and the anticipation of his receivers' movements. When the ball found DK Metcalf in a space that seemed impossibly tight, it wasn't luck, it was preparation, understanding, and the seamless synchronization that comes from decades of playing at the highest level. Metcalf's hands, his vision, and his ability to navigate pressure only amplified what Rodgers had already orchestrated with precision. Every quarterback dreams of these moments, but few can consistently create them under the weight of expectation and pressure that Rodgers carries, especially at this stage of his career. The ripple effect of having a quarterback like him goes far beyond individual plays. It's in the locker room, in the practice field, in the subtle dynamics of motivation and trust. When Rodgers speaks about teammates, when he highlights contributions, when he draws attention to someone like Kenny Gainwell, who might not even be the highest paid player on the roster, yet is arguably among the most valuable, it's not just talk. It's a signal, a reinforcement, a message that the team feels and absorbs instantly. Players notice. They internalize it. The respect is mutual, but it's amplified by Rodgers' understanding that leadership isn't about ego. It's about building an ecosystem where everyone performs better because they know their quarterback has their back. That dynamic is critical as the season moves toward the high-stakes games where mistakes are magnified and every play can tilt momentum. Steelers football has always been about physicality, toughness, and the grind, but with Rodgers, there's an added layer. It's the cerebral side, the ability to manipulate tempo, to read defenses, to create opportunities where none seem to exist. It's evident in how the team handles critical possessions, in how they execute misdirection, and in the confidence that they don't need explicit instructions to manage the clock or make the right reads. That trust and autonomy stem directly from the presence of someone who has lived through every conceivable game scenario. The plays may unfold slowly, methodically, or sometimes in sudden bursts, but the underlying philosophy is clear: controlled aggression, disciplined execution, and relentless focus on exploiting every advantage. The offensive strategy has adjusted to leverage Rodgers' strengths, blending calculated ground attacks with sharp, surgical passing into tight windows that few quarterbacks could even visualize. The Dolphins presented a challenge with their defensive alignments, yet the Steelers attacked intelligently, targeting space between the numbers with remarkable efficiency. Rodgers didn't force throws. He didn't try to overcompensate for age or the weight of expectation. He played within his skill set, respected the field, and allowed his instincts, honed over decades, to guide him. The result was a near-perfect execution of midfield passes, exploiting weaknesses while maintaining situational control. The team's execution mirrored Rodgers' calm authority, with blockers holding firm, receivers navigating coverage, and the entire unit functioning as a cohesive, synchronized machine. Even when faced with pressure, the performance of the offensive line and the timing of Rodgers' decisions minimized disruption. The Dolphins sacked him only on rare occasions, yet those moments didn't shake the rhythm or compromise strategy. It's a testament to the preparation, communication, and mutual understanding between Rodgers and his teammates, a reflection of a quarterback who not only adapts to circumstances, but anticipates them. The broader implication for Pittsburgh is profound. With Rodgers in command, every practice, every game, and every in-game adjustment carries an elevated significance. Younger players observe, learn, and integrate lessons that cannot be taught in traditional settings, and the team collectively benefits from an intelligence and instinct that is as valuable as physical talent. Steelers fans familiar with the team's history will recognize this pattern. As weeks progress, incremental improvements manifest not only in scoreboard outcomes, but in cohesion, discipline, and the subtle nuances of execution. Sacrifice, toughness, and attention to detail may eventually become background noise, yet the effects are enduring. Rodgers' leadership transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary results, elevating both veteran and rookie alike. Every decision, from pass placement to clock management, embodies a calculated risk and reward structure that makes the Steelers a more formidable opponent. The field is a canvas, and Rodgers paints with experience, vision, and an understanding of the game that transcends age. As we look ahead to the challenges facing Pittsburgh, it's impossible to ignore the difference a quarterback of this caliber makes. The balance between preparation and improvisation, between calculated patience and timely aggression, creates a dynamic that opponents struggle to predict and counter. Each week, as the team faces defensive alignments and schemes designed to exploit weaknesses, Rodgers' presence mitigates risk while enhancing opportunity. He orchestrates not just plays, but momentum, shaping the narrative of every game with both tangible execution and intangible influence. This duality of physical performance and perceptual command is what distinguishes elite quarterbacks and what makes the Steelers' current trajectory compelling and noteworthy. As the Steelers move deeper into the season, the dynamics on the field are evolving in ways that make each game feel pivotal. The intensity of December football is something that cannot be overstated. Every snap, every decision, every movement matters more than ever. The quarterback's role at this stage is not just to throw the ball effectively, but to command attention, inspire confidence, and create an environment where his teammates can perform at their peak. Aaron Rodgers embodies all of these qualities. He doesn't merely participate, he orchestrates. Watching him manage the offense is like observing a maestro conducting a symphony, where timing, precision, and intuition converge to create moments that seem almost preordained. The chemistry with his teammates, developed through countless hours of practice, study, and in-game adjustments, allows him to make high-pressure plays look effortless, even when the circumstances are anything but easy. The synergy with his receivers is particularly notable. DK Metcalf, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and others are not just catching passes. They are part of a larger rhythm that Rodgers establishes. The precision required to thread the ball into tight windows, evade converging defenders, and anticipate split-second movements demands more than physical talent. It requires intelligence, anticipation, and a deep understanding of human tendencies. Every completion reflects not only athleticism, but also Rodgers' ability to read the field, predict defensive reactions, and make instantaneous calculations that younger quarterbacks may take years to master. It's a blend of art and science, executed in real time, and the impact is felt throughout the team. The ripple effect extends beyond just the offensive statistics. Rodgers' presence lifts the entire team, elevating the collective mindset and instilling a sense of belief that is hard to quantify but impossible to ignore. Players internalize the confidence he exudes, the calm under pressure, and the unwavering focus on winning. Even in moments when the defense or special teams falter, the assurance that Rodgers brings can steady the ship and redirect energy toward execution rather than panic. It's a rare quality, one that can't be taught or replicated, and it becomes increasingly critical as the schedule intensifies and playoff implications loom. Each practice, each huddle, each game serves as a reinforcement of the culture he helps cultivate, a culture of accountability, professionalism, and relentless pursuit of excellence. This influence is particularly evident in how younger players respond. They see firsthand what it means to prepare meticulously, to maintain composure under duress, and to execute plays with precision and confidence. Someone like Kenny Gainwell, who may not command the highest salary on the roster, benefits tremendously from Rodgers' advocacy and mentorship. Recognizing contributions, highlighting effort, and subtly reinforcing the importance of each player's role fosters commitment and loyalty. Rodgers' approach ensures that the team operates as a cohesive unit, where trust is reciprocal and every individual feels valued and motivated to contribute. This, in turn, amplifies performance and consistency, critical factors in the pursuit of postseason success. The strategic advantage Rodgers brings is also evident in the game planning and on-field adjustments. Against the Dolphins, the Steelers exploited specific defensive tendencies, targeting the middle of the field with precision. Rodgers' decision-making, honed by years of elite competition, allowed the team to capitalize on these opportunities without overextending or risking unnecessary turnovers. His ability to balance risk and reward, to recognize when to accelerate tempo versus when to manage possession, is a defining characteristic of his leadership. The coordination with the offensive line, the timing with receivers, and the situational awareness demonstrated on every play reflect a level of mastery that few quarterbacks achieve, especially at this stage of their career. Even when faced with pressure, Rodgers' composure remains a defining factor. The Dolphins managed to connect on a few sacks, but these instances were exceptions rather than the rule. More importantly, they did not disrupt the overall rhythm of the offense. The offensive line's performance, the execution of receivers, and Rodgers' quick recognition of unfolding scenarios combined to minimize risk and maximize effectiveness. This synergy between quarterback and team exemplifies the strategic and psychological edge that a player of Rodgers' experience provides. It is not merely about making plays. It is about controlling the flow of the game, influencing defensive behavior, and creating situations that favor Pittsburgh at every turn. Looking ahead, the next games against the Lions and Browns will serve as critical tests of this formula. The lessons learned, adjustments made, and momentum gained from recent performances will be pivotal. Rodgers' ability to maintain consistency while adapting to varying defensive schemes will determine how effectively the Steelers can capitalize on their strengths and mitigate vulnerabilities. The team's offensive strategy, blending measured ground attacks with precise passing, will be essential in sustaining drives, managing the clock, and exploiting matchups. The intelligence, discipline, and foresight Rodgers brings to these challenges make him an invaluable asset, one whose influence extends far beyond mere statistics. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling around Pittsburgh as the NFL world watches the Steelers with heightened concern. Reports suggest that TJ WATT, the franchise's defensive cornerstone, might be considering a departure, a scenario that could send shockwaves through the Steel City. WATT, known for his relentless pressure on quarterbacks and his leadership on and off the field, has been the heart of Pittsburgh's defense, and his potential exit has fans and analysts alike speculating about the team's future. Adding fuel to the fire, veteran lineman Cameron Heyward, a stalwart presence for over a decade, is also reportedly weighing options that could lead to an unexpected shift in the roster. The mere possibility of losing two of its defensive anchors has sparked whispers of a looming crisis within the organization. Steelers supporters, long accustomed to stability and toughness on defense, are suddenly confronted with uncertainty. Questions abound. Can the team maintain its identity without Watt's explosiveness? How will the leadership void left by Heyward affect the locker room dynamics? Pittsburgh's front office is said to be exploring all avenues to retain its stars, but contract negotiations in the NFL can be notoriously complex, and the pressure is mounting. Insiders suggest that this speculation could trigger a domino effect across the league. Rival teams are reportedly keeping a close eye on Pittsburgh, aware that a shift in the Steelers' defensive core could open opportunities for free agent acquisitions and trade maneuvers. Meanwhile, fans are bracing for the potential upheaval, flooding social media with debates, predictions, and call for the franchise to act decisively. Analysts note that losing either player would be a seismic event, but losing both could force Pittsburgh into a period of rebuilding sooner than anyone anticipated. While nothing has been confirmed, the mere rumors of TJ WATT and Cameron Heyward considering exits have cast a shadow over Heinz Field. The Steelers, a team synonymous with grit, defense, and consistency, might be facing one of the most pivotal crossroads in recent memory. As whispers turn into speculation and speculation flirts with possibility, Pittsburgh holds its breath, hoping that its defensive heart can beat strong for seasons to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.